Let's talk about how rose-tinted glasses can build or increase your confidence. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1653 of What You Up To Now, documenting the business journey or business journeys as I move from the offline brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world and back and forth a little since the pandemic. And I'll continue to have my feet and fingers and toes and all of me involved in both offline and online businesses, probably till I leave the planet and transition from this life. So today, for Supersize Your Business for female entrepreneurs, our idiom, our confidence related idiom, since we're focusing on confidence for the annual challenge this month, the month of August, is all about confidence in that area and aspect of the life framework. And rose tinted glasses, of course, is an old idiom. It's related to rose colored glass. It's been around since the 1840s when it was used in a novel by Thomas Hughes, who wrote about Tom Brown at Oxford, and it was distributed in a series of, it was released in a series that just talked about his experience at Oxford. And rose-colored glasses, saying somebody has rose-colored or rose-tinted glasses on, is often meant as an insult by the person saying it, right? But I've never taken it as an insult, because I think that we always are better off emotionally, spiritually, physically, any other way that we can look at our life by looking at the positive, optimistic side of life. You know, everything that happens really is pretty neutral. And, you know, sometimes bad things happen. Something bad happened this past weekend, and most people would consider it bad. When it first happened, I considered it bad. And then it was just a little while before I started to switch that around. And I shared today 12 different ways in the challenge that we can, 12 tips to change the negative to the positive, because the better we are at looking for solutions, looking for the upside, looking for what we can learn and benefit from a situation, the faster we move on and continue to become a better version of ourselves, the more confident we feel, the more capable we feel of handling whatever life dishes out to us, right? And we want to be doing that. So rose-tinted glasses was our idiom today, and I shared, you know, the where it came from, what it means, and how we can use it to build and grow our business. And that there's a couple things we want to look out for when we're focusing on the positive and the optimistic. We don't want to be blindsided by things that are going on in the world or our industry, right? I talked about, you know, I don't think very many people, if any people, saw COVID coming and how they were going to respond to it. But the companies that responded in a positive, optimistic way and a way of possibilities succeeded and thrived and managed and are still in business today. Millions of businesses didn't. They took the negative, pessimistic way of looking at the situation and did things like blaming, procrastination, not changing, just waiting to see what was going to happen. And what was supposed to be a week or two to flatten the curve ended up being like 2 years. And I think we're going to see the impact of the COVID pandemic and the way it was handled for decades to come. I hate that I'm saying that, but I think we are. And some of those impacts will be positive. A lot of those impacts will be viewed as negative. So if we look for the positives in that, it's like the what's going on with inflation right now. We can let that shut us down, and we can focus on the inflation, and we can you know, cower and get negative and throw in the towel and not participate, or we can cut back and save and figure out how we're going to scrimp, or we can take the more optimistic, positive approach to that. We can say, okay, this is happening. I personally have no control over inflation except for how I respond and how I choose to spend my now less powerful dollars in the world. And what are the possibilities now that I can use, and what can I do to make sure my life keeps clicking along the way I want it to, despite what's going on in the world, despite what's going on outside of me. Because we really only can control what's inside of us, right? We can't control what is going on it's like trying to control the weather. This is my favorite example to remind myself of. The weather is what the weather is. I get to decide if I'm going to let something I cannot control, the weather, impact my day, my mood, my experiences. Not. And I used to. In Wisconsin, we have some strange weather, and we'll have weeks on end in the winter where it's just gray and drab looking. And that used to just really bum me out and get me down. And I realized that what a waste of energy. I can be happy and positive and optimistic and look for possibility every day despite what's going on with the weather. And we need to do that with other things in the world and other things in life that are outside of our control. I talk about that for a week, I bet. All right. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'm helping people with some pretty cool projects right now. I will be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.